If 1977 was the year of the TV video game, then 78 could well be the year of the home computer. A Midlands firm will be marketing these later this year. The music, by the way, was Black Sabbath, and tonight's a bit special because it's the band's first gig with their new vocalist.
And later we'll be treated to a preview of their latest but as yet unrecorded album. But tonight's also special because it's Twelfth night. And the time was in this part of the world that on Twelfth night anything could happen.
January is a bleak month for new releases. Woody Allen's Annie Hall has at last emerged from the metropolis and is now showing at Odeon in Birmingham and Nottingham. Most of us are bored by all the publicity, but sci-fiers will be pleased to know that Star Wars should appear in the Midlands towards the end of the month. Clint Eastwood's The Gauntlet is currently showing at the ABC and some classic cinemas. There's been an enthusiastic public response to Marty Feldman's The Last remake of Beau Geste. The deep, thought to be a rather poor follow-up to Jaws, has fairly flooded Odeon cinemas throughout the region. Birmingham Arts Lab presents a season of films by Nicholas Roeg, including Mick Jagger in performance and David Bowie as the man who fell to earth. Cannon Hill features Claire's Knee, which is very funny. That's next week, and Lord of the Flies at the end of the month. Stoke Film Theatre's programme for January is very comprehensive and includes two Polanski films, The Tenant and Rosemary's Baby. Leamington's Film Theatre at the Spa Centre has two performances every Monday. Next week the film is Alice Doesn't Live Here Anymore, and these are just some of the films to be seen during January in the West Midlands. For news of the East Midlands scene, here's John Holmes.
Well, tonight sees an exciting development for movie buffs in the East Midlands with the opening of the Charnwood Arts Film Club in Loughborough. In fact, their first film, King of Marvin Gardens, is due to start at 10:30, almost about now, at the Studio 4 Curzon Cinema. They'll be showing films fortnightly, and Elia Kazan's The Last Tycoon is their choice for the 20th of January. The Nottingham Film Theatre, that's at the Cooperative Education Theatre, began its new season this evening. Films are screened each Friday, Saturday and Sunday, and probably the most important feature in the current programme is the one on Friday nights. That begins on January the 20th, The Challenge to Imperialism Part 2. It's the second half of this experiment, and it explores the possibility of a film being an important factor in social change. Including it is work by Jean-Luc Godard and Eisenstein. Now, over at Derby, that's at the Playhouse, the Film Theatre is continuing its policy which began last September. Each week looks at 5 particular aspects of the cinema, but unfortunately, their new season doesn't begin until February the 5th.
Unusually, a film is being premiered at the Birmingham ABC this month before being unleashed on London audiences. One on One highlights the conflict between the athletic fraternity and academic ambition in an American university. Basketball fanatic Henry has fallen out with his teammates and realises that to retain his scholarship he'll have to get down to some intensive study. His tutor, played by the mouth-watering Annette O'Toole, comes up with a novel solution. Why don't they live together?
Then when my student becomes my roommate, there's no charge for the tutoring. Therefore, you now have no reason for working at that hotel, agreed?
Okay.
And last but not least, enough with the basketball, quit.
I can't quit.
Darling, you're killing yourself over a silly game.
Can't quit.
All right. We'll beat him together.
Okay.
Well, I'm sure, like me, you'll be happy to know from the press release that with Janet's love and encouragement, Henry discovers that there is more to life than basketball.
Well, love it or hate it, you can't get away from it. 1977 was the year Johnny Rotten shared the headlines with the Jubilee. With a look back on the sounds of 77, here's Chris Phipps.
1977, the year of new wave. Music that was controversial, aggressive, energetic and making a very clear gesture at the self-indulgence of rock music, reducing 3-hour sets to 30 minutes and 3-chord bashes. Some of the aforementioned qualities are hardly new to West Midlands rock music. They've merely been remixed and communicated to the audience with more speed than before through independent labels promoted by the bands themselves. So, Pelsall's Ron Lee launched the West Midlands' first punk label, Pogo, featuring Wolverhampton's Suburban Studs, and Wolverhampton's Neon Hearts released their own single to sales exceeding 6,000, reflecting their very promising talents for the future. Birmingham boasted musical urban guerrillas like the Killjoys, Sheldon-based MPs, TVIs, D-Features and many, many more, all of them dodging the local authorities' efforts to ban big festivals by holing up in clubs like Barbarella's and Rebecca's. The anything goes atmosphere of 1977 allowed other Midlands musical individuals to gain acceptance that they deserve. It was a breaker for the inimitable Ricky Cool and the Icebergs, who've put entertainment back into rock. And after 10 long years, the Steve Gibbons Band finally earned their medals, with chart success with Chuck Berry's Tulane, an American tour and a fine live album. It even means that Mr Gibbons can now occasionally afford a shave. From extroverts to a profitable introvert, Miss Joan Armour-Trading, who spent her formative years in Birmingham, she headlined a sellout tour in 1977 and went gold with the ironically titled Show Some Emotion. New Wave, on the other hand, may have held up the chances of traditional rock bands like the talented black country gutsy seven-piece Little Acre, who invite all to listen to their first single, The Perfect Crime, which is released today. Will 1978 mean slogging down that classic road for bands like Hunter from Leek in Staffordshire, a band which I can assure you features some very fine fiddle playing? I felt that Stoke-on-Trent's Sutherland Brothers and Quiver have marked time on a different, more profitable level in 1977. And the Kings Norton-based City Boy found a solution from their own album title. They're literally young men gone west to concentrate on the United States. But don't worry, fans, they'll be back soon. Any other business? Nuggets, the West Midlands' own rock magazine, published in Harborne, Birmingham, went glossy this year. And Polydor asked, whatever happened to Slade? Well, I don't really know. But the leading question for 1978 is, who are the Hubs?
Well, don't look at me, I don't know, I've never heard of them. But I'm going to talk about the chart-wise aspect, and the most successful East Midlands band was, well, of course, Showaddywaddy. Their records When, You've Got What It Takes and Dancing Party may have exhibited more than a certain lack of originality, but the punters bought them in their hundreds of thousands. Showaddywaddy, of course, played the De Montfort Hall, Leicester. What a fine year of music this city enjoyed, with Status Quo and Rainbow packing them in at the Granby Halls, and something like 30 top names at the De Montfort Hall. In Nottingham, the year ended with 3 local groups releasing singles: Plummet Airlines, Gaffer and Some Chicken. And watch out for the last 2 in 78, you could be hearing a lot more of them. Nottingham hit the headlines, the national ones, with the famous Sex Pistols Virgin Records case. On trial was an 8-letter word that offended the local guardians of our peace. In the end, thanks to a top QC and a local church minister, we found out that this seemingly outrageous word had been used in certain editions of the Bible. Shakespeare had even penned it. It didn't even mean what I thought it meant. It all was rubbish.
Well, with punk rock, I always think of Andy Warhol's remark, in future everybody will be a star for 3 minutes. Still, Black Sabbath are not 3-minute stars. They've been around and they've got the gold disc to prove it. And now they're back with their new singer, David Walker from Walsall, and a new song from an album they haven't even recorded yet.
was Black Sabbath with their brand of heavy metal music. They'll be recording their new album later this month in Toronto.
Well, I had a very good Christmas this year. I went to parties galore with my ground rhino horn and my high karate mistletoe. And this week I put my dark glasses on and staggered back to work to find that some people were breast off with the whole idea of Christmas. Patrick Murphy.
Since it's supposed to be the season of goodwill, I've been trying to find out just how much of it's been flying around during the party season. I've taken my investigative powers to several parties, purely in the interest of research, you understand, and the results are disturbing. Now, it may be my fault. Perhaps my carefully prepared ad-libs and witty asides are just not funny. Perhaps I should become a director of Rent-A-Bore. It may be I'm to a good party what Rod Stewart is to the Temperance Society. But, and here I try to don a sincere, modest expression, I think not. It's not my fault that when introduced to someone at a party, no sooner have they said, "How are you?" than their eyes take on that faraway look perfected by Jimmy Carter. And what about the couples? The ones who've got nothing to say but won't let each other out of sight in case one of them gets up to no good. So they sit there, gripping hands like desperate mountaineers, talking to other couples who also lack the confidence to move out of a 5-yard circle all night. It's no use trying to engage the host or hostess in casual banter. They may have invited you, but don't expect to distract them from discovering who's ground the pickled onions into the carpet, why that precious Brian Ferry album's gone missing, and who's passing the pot around. So you struggle to the bar and you find that all the meanies who brought only a can of Watneys have guzzled your Beaujolais, and you put off the punch by the tadpoles winking at you. The music's too loud. If you talk to a bloke, he thinks you're gay. All the girls are spoken for, and the men watch beadily over them like Labradors on piecework. And yet, the next day it didn't seem so bad. Your mouth feels like the bottom of a budgie's cage. Your feet tell you stood too long. Yet by lunchtime, it was a good party. And come the evening in the pub, you're saying, "Hey, I went to a great do last night." The British are world-class at trying too hard to enjoy themselves and using the gift of hindsight to turn a boring, shallow evening into a night to remember. In fact, I can't wait to try this theme out on someone at the party I'm going to tomorrow night. Should be a good do.
Well, it's New Year, and as usual, all the girly calendars have been arriving in our office, to the delight of all the men. So, imagine my surprise when this arrived on my desk. It's a fella's calendar, and it's selling like hotcakes. It was thought up by an enterprising lady from Lichfield, Sue Jelfs.
Sue, I don't want to sound naive, but what gave you the idea?
Well, because there's nothing like that on the market at all. There's so many girly calendars, you know, good ones and bad ones, and there's nothing like this at all. And I think it's sort of redressing the balance slightly, you know.
So it's women getting their own back?
Oh, yes, definitely.
Have women been among the buyers?
Oh, yeah, there's a vast percentage of them have been women buying it.
Well, what was your experience in photography? Had you done anything like this before?
No, complete amateur. It's the first project I've ever done. So,
And who are the boys on the calendar?
mainly friends, art students, and my boyfriend, of course, John, he's on it as well.
Did John's here. Did you take some persuading to do this?
No, not really.
You're an exhibitionist.
No, I'm only in it for the bread.
Fair enough, and it's been very successful. You made a lot of money on it.
Well, it has been it's much better than we thought it was going to be, you know. We've really sold a lot. It's been very good.
And what are your plans? Are you going to do another?
Oh, yes, definitely do another one for next year, yes.
You're looking around for the talent already, then?
Oh, yes, keeping my beady eye open.
So men of the Midlands, beware.
Yeah, watch out.
Best luck for next year, and thank you very much
Thank
indeed.
you.
What's next?
Wait a minute. You're not going to get out of that one. You see, Mike's a true professional, and for the sake of his art, he volunteered, well, we pushed him, to reveal a little more than he normally does. And I've got the results right here.
Ah, dear, yes. I can't really explain this one. This is... I'm looking rather sheepish in this one, I think. Look, turn them over quick.
What's the next one?
Yes, I think you can't see the goose pimples there, but I was starting to suffer a great deal of this one. It was all very embarrassing. I mean, you know, who would do this kind of thing except for the BBC?
And revealed in full sultry splendour? Looking like a Donus?
Not a Donus, the Donus.
Well, Mike, what did you find? I mean, did you enjoy doing it? I think you rather did, actually.
Well, I did until my aunt in Stratford said that she was going to cut me out of her will, and then, you know, the folly was revealed.
Sue, was he a good model?
Yes, very good. He did get a bit cold, I must admit, but he was very good.
Great. Well, I believe there's a rumour going around that you're going to be featuring in next year's calendar.
In next year's calendar?
Well, we'll see.
I don't think we want to discuss this. John, rescue me. I'm beset by women.
Well, while we're on the subject of exhibitions, there's a touring exhibition of photographs of gardens compiled by East Midland Arts. Gardens of Delight is the work of 8 photographers with over 350 photographers, mostly emphasising small, private gardens, rather than the grand, stately home type. Now, that's on view at Leicester Polytechnic until January the 30th in the Kimberlin Exhibition Hall.
The Icon Gallery in the Birmingham Shopping Centre has a beautiful exhibition of Chilean patchwork on view until next Wednesday. It's the work of relatives of the victims of the political upheaval in Chile. Several hundred patchwork pictures have been made in the last 2 years, despite the atmosphere of terror. It's a popular art of resistance, invented by the people themselves because of the need to express the bitter experiences they're going through and to find a channel of communication with the outside world. With Chile still in mind, 2 exiles from the coup will be performing mime stories entitled Remembering the World a Little Bit. That's January the 14th at Warwick University Arts Centre. Also at the Arts Centre, Bill Tidy's Fosdyke saga runs from the 23rd of January. Other theatrical events worth mentioning are Frank Findlay starring in the musical Our Husband the King at Birmingham Rep from the 19th of January. The Travers Theatre Company are at the Brum Studio from the 23rd. Next week, The Gingerbread Man is at the Swan, Worcester, and Rattigan's The Winslow Boy is at the Everyman, Cheltenham, from the 18th. The Second City Theatre Company presents Radio Times at the Centre for the Arts, Aston, on on the 12th of January, and Tony Perrin's The Bending Machine is the next production at the Victoria Theatre at Stoke at the end of the month.
Well, as the costs of running a provincial theatre spiral, it could well be speculated the future lies with the touring company, the professional performers that visit our local schools, colleges and community centres. Well, the Emma Dance Company and the Emma Theatre Company are a very good example. Their schedule is so busy over the next couple of months that if you live in the East Midlands area, they must be visiting somewhere near you. Now, if you want to know when, ring Valerie Avahami. Her number, Loughborough 67136. Once the Christmas productions end, here are some of the other highlights from the East Midlands region. At the Haymarket Leicester, they'll be running a Russian season, beginning with Dostoevsky's Crime and Punishment. At the Phoenix Leicester, there's Joe Orton's Loot. And from the 25th of January, that's from the 25th of January. Over at Derby, there's a fortnight of Samuel Beckett in their studio theatre.
Right, tonight's 12th night. Epiphany, the Three Kings, the day of topsy-turvydom, a feast of misrule. Now, 12th night used to be the highlight of Christmas, the day when you gave out the presents, the day when you baked the cake, and whoever got the bean or the coin baked in the cake was king for the day.
In fact, it wasn't so very long ago in Warwickshire on 12th night that the servant girls had to run from the kitchen to the field, grab a clod of earth, run back and stick a feather in it, chased by the farm lads with whips. If the girls got back to the kitchen and had their feathers in time, the boys had to give them their plum pudding. If they didn't get back to the kitchen, well, I suppose the lads had their cake and ate it.
But of course, the real point of it all was to get paralytic. 12th night was the night for wassail, and we're going to tell you how to make wassail in a minute. But first of all, this is what you drank it out of. This is a 4-gallon wassail bowl from the 17th century, and you took your wassail out with this little wooden dipper. The bowl itself is made out of lignum vitae, which is a Central American wood, so heavy that it sinks. And as this is an Irish wassail bowl, it won't surprise you to learn that this was found at the bottom of a river. Really.
This beautiful wassail bowl, also 17th century, is lined with silver, and it's got the inscription, "The gift of Richard Rogers to his old friends who met in the Toy Room." This is a pub in Surrey. You can see these bowls and many more in the Pinto collection in the Birmingham City Museum and Art Gallery.
And now the promised wassail recipe. First of all, you pour 1 litre of strong ale or cider into a large pan. Add ½ kilo of soft brown sugar and a cinnamon stick.
You gently simmer the mixture until the sugar dissolves. You add 1 level teaspoon of grated nutmeg, ½ a level teaspoon of ground ginger, 2 thinly sliced lemons and a bottle of medium dry sherry.
And now pour in another 2 litres of ale or cider and float 12 roasted apples on the top. That's what gives it the froth.
That's it. We tried it and it really works. We had to put Mike in the broom cupboard.
We did. Here it is. Well, that's what it looks like. When you've drunk your 4 gallons, what you do next is you go out into the fields, you feed cake and ale to the apple trees, and then you fire at them.
Let Roy Palmer and Martin Briggs explain with the 12th night wassail song from Worcestershire.
Old apple tree will wassail thee, and hoping thou wilt bear. The Lord does know where we shall be, to be merry another year. To blow well and to bear well, and so merry let us be. Let every man drink up his cup, here's a health to the old apple tree. To blow well and to bear well, and so merry let us be. Let every man drink up his cup, here's a health to the old apple tree.
Apples now, capfuls, hatfuls, 3 bushel bagfuls, barn fourfuls, tallit holefuls, little heap under the stairs.
Hip, 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 hey!
After all that wassail, you'll be lucky if you're not a little... You'll be lucky if you're not a little heap under the stairs yourself. But all good things must come to an end, and it's back to work again on Plough Monday. And the last act of the festivity is to invite the mummers round to give their plough play.
Well, we invited the Coventry mummers here earlier this evening, and they're running amok.
Excuse me, please. Excuse me. In comes I, bold Tom Fool. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen all. I hope you won't be offended at what I've come to call. I hope you don't get too upset at what we've come to say. But there's plenty more pretty boys and girls to follow me on this way. The sergeant, he comes in, with orders from the king, to list all who follow the horse, cart or plough. In there comes old Thrashing Blade, the hero of our tale.
His old man taught him in this trade, not 20 years ago. In there is the farmer's man. Don't you see the whip in his hand? Behold, our lady, bright and gay, good fortune and sweet charms, so scornfully she's thrown away out of her true love's arms. The farmer swears, if he'll not wed with her, as you will understand, he'll list him for a soldier and fight in foreign lands. In then comes old Dame Jane, with her neck as long as a crane. She's looking for some lover. Now the farmer, he must take this offer. To the army he must go, to fight all England's enemies and vanquish foreign foes. But now her love is listed and joined the volunteers. She neither means to sigh for him. She'll find another lover, and along with him she'll go. The sergeant, he has gold and silver. Young Thrashing Blade has house and land. Both of these two want to wed her. She will take the fitter man. Oh, horrible! Oh, horrible! What hast thou done? Thou slain my only son. Step in the doctor.
In come I, the doctor, with my stuff. I brought this along, funnily enough.
Tell me, doctor, what pills have you got?
These pills are anti-bilious pills that can cure lice and mice and make a leg of mutton tremble half a mile away.
Amazing.
Take one at night, take 2 in the morning. Swallow the box by dinner time. If that don't cure him, the lid will. You see, this fellow's only in a trance. Rise up, old chap, and we'll have a dance. Oh, you can't dance. Fool, sing. Rise up, old fellow, and begin.
Good master and good mistress, as you sit by the fire, just think on us poor ploughboys who trudge through mud and mire. The mud, it is so very deep, the water runs so clear. Put your hands into your pockets, that's all we do desire. Put bread into our hopper and beer into our can. We hope you never will forget the jolly old farmer's man.
Good master and good mistress, you see our fool has gone.
Round the bend.
We make it our business to follow him along. We thank you for your civility and what you've given here. We wish you a good night and another happy year.
And again.